Tina Louise, who was very uncomfortable in the show because of the bad start she had, which I explained before,
Mm-hmm.
and refused to do Rescue from Gilligan's Island because she wanted no participation in the show anymore. She felt that it had hindered her career as a dramatic actress. And she refused, she even refused to do voiceover for the animated uh, segments. And she wasn't mad at me, she was mad at the show because it just stuck her in a stereotype. And she never quite understood the impact of the show until one day she told me she was having dinner at an Italian restaurant not too far from here, and a woman came up to her and said, "Miss Louise, I know it's wrong to interrupt stars or actors, when they're eating, but before I leave, there's something I must tell you." So Tina said, "What's that?" And she said, "My husband is dying of cancer. He's in the hospital, and they have exhausted all kinds of medications to ease the pain, except one thing. He loves you, and he watches Gilligan's Island. We've taped a lot of the shows, and we tape them, and he sits and watches you, and that's the only thing that overcomes the pain." And she said, "If you could sign something and I could take it to him, I'm sure that that would have a great meaning." She told me that story, and I think it gave her a little insight into the impact that just performers can make. And I've seen that impact. I saw it with the skipper. Alan Hale and I used to go with some regularity, and other performers. I've gone there with Florence Henderson. In fact, there is a Brady Bunch waiting room at Children's Hospital, which my wife and I have contributed. We built that room, and it's called the Brady Bunch waiting room. And we have a room at Orthopedic Hospital, which is called the Gilligans Island waiting room, because it was my theory, which I've discussed with doctors, when a child comes to a hospital, it's an awesome sight, and it's sterile, and it's unfriendly, and doctors and nurses, and it's scary. So I figure if I call the rooms that, and we put pictures of the stars around the room, and they thought that was a terrific idea. And so both rooms have pictures of the cast around the room, big pictures, which Lou and Norm, their company, did for me. I told them what the purpose was. So they had big things. And so anyway, that was a way that Tina Louise learned what stars can do for just an average person who's in pain.